The room does have a pickle smell that you can smell from the bodies of the round table.
There's a pickle smell. It showed up after Sunday.
From your gryd. That's when the cannibalism started. What was that?
You're right, though. The room does have a pickle smell that you can smell from the bodies of the round table.
There's a pickle smell. It showed up after Sunday, after everyone left. It was much stronger then.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Is it just
Eddie's
butt
pickled.
grease?
Holding an Eddie.
I think it's just brine. We've all got a lot of brine in our bodies.
Don't blame.
I would say that it's probably Holden because his body sweat at some point. Something's got to happen. The poison's got to come out of him.
I don't know. We're recording? Welcome to the show, everyone. That's Marcus Parks. I'm Ben Kissel. We're grumpy. Who are you?
My name is
Just be Henry.
I'm Henry Zabrowski.
Okay, thank
It's just good to be back in the studio. I'm in New York for approximately 36 hours.
That's great. Has New York driven you mad?
No, it's just you have to. I'm leaving town for 4 months, as you know. A show that I did a pilot for called A to Z on Thursday nights at NBC is now going to be filming in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So if you're in Los Angeles, please try not to be too weird. If you're cute, and nice, funny. Talk to me, calm.
You're telling your fans how to be, and then if they live up to your standard, then they can approach you.
Yes, they come help me move around. I don't have a place to stay. I'm living in my car. It's going to be an interesting time.
Seems like you kind of flipped it there. You seem to be the one in need.
I need help.
Yeah. But of course, if you are in the Los Angeles area, make sure to swing by and say "Hail Satan" to Mr. Henry Zabrowski. Make him feel right at home,
please. Today we're doing a very special.
Today's subject, by the way.
Absolutely. What a fucking nerd! It is the next line of in our big hitter series.
That's right. Before there was what's Chris Hardwick making nerds cool and badass. There was a man. He went by the nickname Unabomber, and his birth name.
Johnny Boy Kaczynski.
Ted Johnny Boy Kaczynski. That's who we're talking about today, and the subject could not be more fascinating.
I have never heard about a person in which the term "smells like old milk" is used as often as about Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
I would say, of all of the big hitters, he's the smelliest.
Well, he's the most isolated, that's for certain.
But he wasn't even that isolated.
No, he wasn't that isisolated. You could hear traffic from his front door.
An ice cream truck.
What does that mean?
An ice cream truck serviced his house. Sure. He was on a newspaper route. If you're on a route of any sort, you're not an isolated cat.
Isolation is a frame of mind.
Yeah. Well, it was for him anyway.
Yes. I don't think that he felt as if he was relating to humanity on a daily basis.
But I will say, so this is just part one of this episode. We're going to really go up to the christening of the Unabomber. Yeah. But, so there are many points in which I agree sort of with Ted Kaczynski.
Hold on. Tread lightly. Terrorist Henry Zabrowski.
Hey, I'm with Henry on this one, man. You're outvoted 2-1.
You know what? I am just fine with that.
Well, you got all these kids. Listen, kids these days, they got their bebopping iPhones and their Angry Birds, and everybody's out there just, they're reading their electric newspapers, and they're losing sight of what's important, which is shitting in a bucket and not washing yourself in a cabin in Montana.
That is important.
It is important.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Ted Kaczynski was a mail bomber that operated between 1978 and 1995. He killed 3 people and injured 23 others in 16 separate incidents.
And inspired jealousy in mailmen all over the country.
He took my idea. God, Kaczynski.
I was going to do mine in the shape of a big middle finger, and they call me the fuck you murderer.
Yeah. Man, 78 to 95. What a run.
95. I mean, one of the longest runs, and if it wasn't for the person who eventually turned him in, I don't think he would have ever gotten caught. If he
sold out by his damn brother.
He was sold out by his brother, and his brother eventually turned him in. But I think if his brother hadn't ratted him out, I think the Unabomber would be another Zodiac.
Yes.
we never would have known
Right.
who this guy was.
No, because he probably would have tripped and fell trying to empty his dookie bucket out on the swamp over there, and then fall face first into a thing, and then be dead, and then they would just find a skeleton out there.
How'd Ted die? Now he had a piece of dookie lodged right up his nostril.
Up his nostril.
Yeah.
It gave him head fever.
Yeah.
Oh, he died of head fever. Boiled his fucking brains in his sleep.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, except he killed all the stages.
What was that last part?
He's a good guy.
Okay.
He used to come every round and once in a while buy pipes and nails. Good guy.
Good guy. That Ted Kaczynski, he must have a real mansion up there in the woods, all the nails that he's buying.
Nails and pipes. He's some kind of creative plumber. I don't know. I gotta tell you one thing. He's a good guy.
So do we want to get into the backstory of Mr.
Yeah, let's get into the
Kaczynski?
backstory of him. He was born in 1942 in Illinois, which is
This was a fairly good time to be born.
yeah, it was actually pretty great. He
Just
went
going to miss
college.
out on Vietnam in the 70s, until he... Yeah.
Polish man.
Oh,
And nothing is better than a good, strong Polish man.
Yeah.
Give it up for the Kaczynskis out there that aren't bombers.
I don't know if he was trying to be a bomber. I think he was just trying to deliver steel pies to people, and he didn't know how things worked.
You must have got the Polish recipe for steel pie.
Yeah.
Well, like a lot of serial killers, the man was very isolated. In fact, he had a childhood illness, like a lot of these guys do, and 9 months of
So that's
age.
why every time I watch those leukemia videos with all the kids suffering, future serial killers, don't save them. Don't save them.
Because a lot of times those kids don't even make it past 9. So no.
see.
I was watching an interview with Ted Kaczynski's mother, and she was just like, "He was just the cutest there, baby. Yeah, just rocking and cajoling and chortling and a chuckling." I should have got it. Literally, is what she said. And he's a chortling and a chuckling, flirty little baby, and he used to wrap his arms around my breast, and then he got hives.
Oh, and then he stopped chortling and
hives,
chuckling.
and they had no idea where the hives came from.
And so, according to the mother, she was just like, and there Ted was sitting in the emergency room, all covered in hives, and he was
Where
looking
is his
for his
mother from?
I don't know.
I don't either. I
From
can't.
Poland.
Okay.
And he's in there and he's reaching for his mother, and I couldn't be there to cajole and to chortle and to comfort and to calm him. And then when the baby I got back was a sober baby.
A different child.
That's what she said. It came back a totally different baby.
Well, this makes a lot of sense in his later life because that period of time in a baby's life is extremely important as far as forming connections with other people, forming connections with your mother.
Whatever. I used to be leaving a bus stop for days. And I entertained myself. That was back in the day, and it took. I had to
Yeah,
take.
don't even pretend. You were getting stuffed like a turducken on a date. Henry Thomas, come over here. Time for your hourly feeding.
I don't like broccoli. I only like hot dogs.
For the 370th straight day, no broccoli, Henry Thomas. Who loves their mommy? Who loves their mommy?
I only love hot dogs. You bring broccoli to the table one more time. This is fire the house.
Honey, I think we've created a monster.
Well, 5th grade, Ted Kaczynski was tested, had an IQ test. It was found that he had an IQ of 167. And of course, was able to skip a grade. As a kid, he, for some reason, fearing people, I can get. But
Totally.
he also had an intense fear of buildings.
I mean,
Makes sense that he went on to destroy many of them.
he didn't really destroy buildings.
If you think of a mailbox like a mini building for like a mouse family, maybe that's what he was
That is strange. That is
Yeah.
a strange thought.
Yeah.
You're becoming like a Lilliput. You're becoming like a Gulliver with his travels.
Yeah, good.
Maybe the fear